What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about the biggest surprises to come out of the 2019 Mr. Olympia. I made a video, the last video actually was about the biggest disappointments of the Olympia. In that video I went into detail about what we expect from certain guys, because there's some guys who were hyped up, they're going to crack top 6, the best shape of their life. Some guys were even hyped up to even win the entire show depending on how they came in. None of that happened, and it was a bit disappointing as a fan to see. So that video is linked down below in the description, guys. Go ahead and check it out. It's a very good in detail video about what the biggest disappointments were. Once again, this video we're going to talk about the biggest surprises, and in my opinion there's two notable surprises that happen, at least in open men's. There are a couple of surprises throughout all the divisions, but talking about men's open, one being Patrick Moore. Now, this guy, in my opinion, came out of nowhere. I first saw him at the California Pro this year. First time I've ever seen him, first time I've ever heard of him. And I saw him and I was like, okay, pretty good potential, pretty good structure, pretty good, physique. Like you can see that his physique has, something good in it. Like, something that's really going to allow himself to be a top level pro. But he showed up at the Olympia, and his conditioning at the Olympia far exceeded his conditioning at the California Pro, where he took first, by the way. And honestly, in my opinion, I had him higher. I had him ranked probably above Cedric in that 7th spot. I feel like Patrick should have been 7th, and then everyone else from there on should have been pushed up one more placing, because he brought the conditioning. He has an amazing structure. He has great shape. He's probably one of two open guys that actually hits a vacuum. Hardy hits a vacuum, and now we have another guy being him who does hit a vacuum as well, and it looks friggin' amazing. Like, the back is very detailed, legs are separated, very clean abdominal wall, like very clean set of abs, no bubble gut at all, very good skin color, which obviously, like, there's a lot of things in bodybuilding that matters that you really just can't help. In your skin color, your genetics is one of them, but that Sean Ray type of skin color looks amazing. It really does. On stage it looks great, like that Sean Ray Phil Heath type of skin. He has that. I didn't expect him to come in looking as good as he did. I didn't expect him to bring the level of conditioning that he did, and honestly I feel like he was overlooked massively. I feel like he really should have been rewarded in a big way. Like, once again, take him and put him in the 7th spot where Cedric was, and just move everyone else up from there, because I feel like that's where he's there. Like, he should have been battling that 7th to 8th spot above those other 3 competitors, but he did place 10th. Somewhat overlooked in my opinion, but he did crack top 10 in his very first Olympia, and this guy is going to be insane. Give this guy a year or two and it's going to be nasty. Now, he's actually being kind of said to be the next Ronnie Coleman, because he has that like Ronnie Coleman-esque type of presence. I wouldn't say physique, because I feel like he definitely has a better structure and better muscle ability than Ronnie Coleman. Spoiler. Don't crucify me for that statement. But I feel like he just has more potential in terms of being a more aesthetic bodybuilder. Maybe not size, but in terms of aesthetics, in terms of lines, he might be better than Ronnie. Size wise, it's not gonna happen. Conditioning wise, I don't think he can match Ronnie in certain Olympics. Like, I feel like 99 was good conditioning. 01, 02 was amazing conditioning as well. But it's a lot to live up to. I think people are expecting him to gain like 30 pounds and come back next year and just win the whole show, which could happen. He could pull Ronnie Coleman, which Ronnie Coleman was, I believe, 9th in 1997. He gained like 30 pounds and won the whole show the following year. So, I mean, Patrick can do the very same thing. Like, Patrick can just wow everyone, put on a ton of size, compete a little later in the year, and then just, come to Olympia and clean house. It could happen, but this guy is a pleasant surprise to see in men's open bodybuilding. Once again, clean lines, small waist, tight midsection, great conditioning, really, really pleasing to look at muscle bellies, really great looking physique to look at. And honestly, I hope he just continues and moves up the rank. Now, talking about the second surprise of the show, and honestly, it's not much of a surprise. This guy was hyped up, and he was hyped to the point where we expected him to come conditioned, shredded, bone dry, hard as nails, and we got just that. Hardy Chupan. Now, like, I expected him to look good, but he was like I can't even describe the conditioning. It was probably the best conditioning in the entire men's open lineup. Great conditioning, hard as concrete, hard as granite, vascularity everywhere, separated from head to toe. Probably the only guy on stage in the top five that had really deep cuts in his quadriceps. A lot of guys, like Curry and William Bonac, they had the separation of the quads and they had some kind of feathering going on, just barely noticeable feathering. But Hardy was just like carved out of stone, man. His quads were on another level. Like, if you were to compare, let's say if we were to say Brandon is an amateur in terms of quad department separation, Hardy would be like Ronnie Coleman pro level. I mean, it is his quadriceps conditioning was insane. In fact, the whole lower body, man, not just the quads. I feel that's the most noticeable thing because everyone else's quads were not that separated, but everything else was great. I mean, the hamstring glute tie-in from the side, the glutes from the back, the hamstring from the back. He does have calves. They don't match up well to his quads themselves, but they're there. He just needs to grow them and make them bigger. But great lower body. Midsection was insane, completely controlled, no distension. He actually had the deepest six pack on stage as well in throughout the entire men's open, in my opinion, as well. Like he had the best quad separation, the best six pack, very deep six pack. I would say he had overall the best conditioning. He had a lot of the best stuff. I mean, he had the best chest striations as well. Like if you want to break down body part to body part, he had a lot of things that were really dry, hard, condition that a lot of other competitors, even in the 1 and 2 spot, William Bonac and Brandon Curry just didn't have. And I feel like those guys came in fuller, rounder, bigger than Hardy. But if this was a conditioning show, Hardy would have won. If we were talking about conditioning, if we were talking about just dry, almost Dorian muscle, this would have been Hardy's Olympia. But that isn't how it played out. And I'm fine with Brandon being the winner. I feel like he definitely brought enough to win himself the title. But you can't overlook Hardy. I mean, like, the width. I've never in my life, and I've been following bodybuilding for like 10 years. I've never in my life seen a guy so short that is that wide. He is as wide as he is tall. It is one of the most insane illusions I've ever seen. Like, I really can't think of anyone who's even close to really mimicking that. Like, if I really put my finger on in terms of who has that, like that very short stature, but that wide shoulder to shoulder frame, I really don't know who. Like, I don't think anyone has that. I mean, it is stupid. Like, he's wider than Brandon, wider than Rolly, wider than everyone. He is Big Ramy. He's like a mini Big Ramy. If you were to take Big Ramy and cut 2 inches off of him and give him conditioning, he would be Hardy. He would be Hardy. Like, that's what Hardy is. He's like a conditioned, shorter Big Ramy. It is insane what this guy brought to the stage. And I feel like he did make the right move by going into open, because 212, like, he would have won easy, casually, low difficulty. Like, it would have been honestly, it would have been unfair. It really would have been unfair for him to jump in there and just hit the title. I mean, easy victory, obviously, but I feel like he's really made a statement coming into the open division, placing third in the Olympia. Obviously the lineup is a bit washed out. No Phil Heath, no Sean Roden, no Big Ramy, no Kai Green, no. Even with the lineup being depleted, he placed top 3. Even if this was a proper lineup, I feel like he still beats Big Ramy. I feel like he beats Josh. I feel like it's only Roden and Phil that would push him back all the way up to the 5th spot. Even so, like, amazing physique, phenomenal physique, definitely deserving of top 3. So down below, guys, let me know what you think about the biggest success of the 2019 Miss Olympia. Let me know if it was a worthy show for you. Let me know if it was disappointing for you guys. I do have the posing routines of both the gentlemen's down below in the description, so go ahead and check out the posing routine, guys. It is great. It's phenomenal. These guys brought their A game. They brought their conditioning, and I really hope that we see them on the Olympia stage next year. Definitely going to be seeing Hardy because he's qualified. Hopefully he does get a visa to make it once again, because I think the visa he has is only good for a couple months, so he would definitely have to reapply. But once you've gotten the visa before, I feel like it's probably going to be easier for him to keep getting the visa. And hopefully you see him at the Arnold. That's going to be amazing. Hopefully Patrick Moore's at the Arnold as well. That's going to be awesome. But I feel like Patrick, once again, he needs to take some time off to grow. Do a later show, like probably do the Vancouver, the Toronto, like later in the year, like around May or June, he can compete then. and just come into Olympia and just wow everyone. I feel that's a better move for Patrick to make. But Hardy can compete all he wants. He has all the size he needs. He has great conditioning. He just needs to be more consistent and just show himself more. And obviously now that he's in the US, he can do that. So quick video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, comment down below. If you're not subscribed, make it a thing. Subscribe down below, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.